Welcome to a very wet week in June, and we're inside the camper van, and there's going to be a few changes to the camper van. This video might be over a couple of days because the fella that's doing some of the changes has changed the day on certain things, but we'll see what happens. First things first, we had this camper van October time, and I went out on a few day trips, and I slept in it once just before the lockdown, and it's been sat on the drive ever since. So I had this camper van to make life easier for myself, because as you get older things seem to far too much trouble. I mean, I can still manage the caravan. We have a caravan that a lot of you all know. And I can still manage it on my own. I've got the motor mover on it, but it all seems like an awful lot of hard work. And the camper van seems a lot easier, just getting it go. And I think as you get older, you just want an easy life, I think. Or it's just that things seem harder than they really are. Because I'm fit enough. I'm perfectly capable of sorting the caravan out and putting it on the back of the van, putting the legs up and down, manoeuvring it with the motor mover. So it's just, I can't be bothered. That's a simple fact of the thing. In my 20s, I just did it just like that, never thought about it. In my 50s, everything's too much trouble. So we've got the camper van. So like I was saying, we bought it and we've not really used it. So I've thought to myself the other day, I've never actually filled the water tank because of the weather. When we bought it, it was too cold. It was all on shutdown for winter. So I'm going to do that as well, and clean out the tank. So I'll just show you what I've got to clean the tank out. So this is what I'm going to be putting in the water tank, and you can get it from any of the camping caravan type shops. It's not hard and it's not ever so expensive. This was only a little tub. I've just got to find out how big the water tank is by going through all the stuff that came with the camper van and then putting the right amount in. So I should imagine I'll be putting most of this little thing in the big water tank. I'm not sure, but once I filled the water tank, then I can test that the heaters and everything work, and I can test the shower works fine, because it was tested. It had a certificate to say that it had all been tested when we bought it, but we've never used it, so we just hope everything works. The gas cooker works. I've not tried the oven. The fridge works. I know the fridge works, and I know the electric hookup works because I did use that the last time we stayed away. We went away in it. So that's the first job. The second job is to empty the boot ready for the new changes. I think that's it. That's all I need to do before it goes off to have its changes done. So I better tell you what I'm changing, eh? I'll not keep you in suspense any longer. So let me have a drink. I think I've got a bit of a cold this week. I've got a croaky voice and a sniffly nose, but then it may be a bit of a hang on of the hay fever from when it was red hot. I never know whether I've got a cold or hay fever or what I've got. Changes to the van. What are we doing? Well, we're going to have cages put in under the bed for the dogs, and I had mentioned this before, and it was all measured up and all sorted out, and then I got to go over on the Monday, and Monday was the first day of the lockdown, so it never got done. So let me show you where they're going to go. I'll do a little tour round starting from this end on things that we've added and put in, And then when we get to the back end, I'll show you where the cages are going. And then after the first trip out, the idea for the cages took a little change. So the next time I saw him, I asked him to make an alteration. So I found, especially with Freya, who is a mummy's girl, does not like being shut in under the bed. She likes to be able to see you. So I'm having, where the door is, into the interior, not to the outside, not the back door, into this area, I'm having another door, a wire door put on, so I can open the door, but she can't get out. And it'll be ideal for when we're messing about in here and we want the dogs out of his way. They can go under the bed and they can still see what we're doing, but they're not getting all upset because they shut away. So that was the idea. And the man that's doing it for me has said actually it will make his life easier, because I wanted them removable. So if we decide not to take any dogs and lots of luggage, then it makes it awkward if there's cages in. And when it has to go for its MOT and its habitational check, I don't want the men to have to climb into a cage to do all the checking. So it's all going to be able to be taken out easily. So it'll just come into so many pieces and just slide out. So that's going to be make life easy as well. So right, let's get on with what we've been doing to the van since I bought it. So this is the front of the van with the seating area. Both seats turn and we have the table, and it's a bit dark because I bought some of these. They like to stop the sun getting in. They're supposed to be on the outside, but I've managed to fit them to the inside. I prefer them on the inside, and then they're not wet when you want to pack them away. So this chair just swivels, look, there we are, just swivels round. And these, I had to make this little alteration just here. Come on. I had to make a V in for the mirror. Not that the mirror is any use because you can't see out of the back. I don't know why they just didn't take it off. So it's reflective, so if it's sunny it's going to reflect the sun back, and I don't have to bother with the curtains because the curtains seem to be a faff. And if there's a theme to this, isn't there? There's a theme to this. Everything's got to be easy. I mean, if you just stop in one night, then the curtains, but if you stop in a week, these are ideal and they give you privacy. So they just fasten up there, and put that off. You can put these either side. You could put them that side, so you could have it the other way around if you wanted. So they just stick her on. And the same for the side windows. They just fold up into a bag. I'll leave that down. Leave that down there. The other thing that we've added is a bit of security. So we bought one of these. It was a hand-free set in. It's only an old Nokia one. In when I bought it, and the man says, "Oh, it'll probably not work or not connect. You might have to take it out." But it does. Works perfect. Connects first time to my phone. I didn't really have to do anything. It just connected to it. And now every time I get in and start the engine up, it connects to my phone. And then we have a speaker, if there's enough light for me to show you, down there. That is a bit dark down there. So there's a speaker there that the sound comes out of for the phone, and up here there's a little mic. Let me just let's get a little bit more light in there. So here there's a mic, so that needs sticking back on again. So I've added things like this to put things in, and both chairs have got these like tidies on the back. So you know, you've got my little shoes, and that's de-icer, there's mozzie spray, suntan lotion, that type of thing. I think there's even paracetamol in there for easiest, so you know where things are. The next thing we added was the Wi-Fi, so that's up there and it's close to the plug, the socket there to plug it in, and in here the aerial for the Wi-Fi, and that fixes onto the roof with the sucker or a window, and it works quite well on the window actually. I don't need to have it outside really. So that just slots back in there. Shut that. If you see this Wi-Fi box here, I've got another one that fits there. This one is giffgaff and the other one is EE for when we go more up north. EE has got a better signal, I think, so I've been told. So a lot of people just take the back off and change the SIM card, but I found that the internal settings, you have to make a change, and it's faffy. And again, another theme to this video is it's too much trouble. So for ease, I've got two boxes, and whichever one I'm using, I just switch on, connect the aerial to, so I can have my other one up there, so I can have them both fastened up there at the time, so I can pick whichever is the best signal. I suppose it seems a bit extravagant, but it's better than faffing about changing all the settings. You just got to change the card, it wouldn't matter, but to have to go in, get on the computer or the tablet and mess about changing all the settings to suit the difference between EE and giffgaff was a pain. So from the table where I'm sat down, this is down to the back end. So on this side is the shower toilet cubicle. On the other side is the so on the other side there is the cooker and the sink, and then we have, you can't really see, I'll have to go, it's dark down there, I'll have to go closer. That's the cupboard door I was talking about, and then we have the television. So let's get closer. So we'll come around here. So this is the TV and the bed, and if I switch the little lights on over there, you can see them. So I have a couple of reading lights there on the bed, skylight. So like I said, what was new is the TV, and I can even turn it around this way and pull it out a bit. I need another hand, but so you can watch it from the front. So we've added the TV. So this is a quick look of the bathroom. We've got the sink and the shower, and even my dressing gown, my doggy dressing gown. It's got pictures of doggies on, if I get a close look. In there, bought for this camper van, and we haven't had in the caravan, is this like Ridge Monkey. It's not the Ridge Monkey make, it's just a cheap copy, but it does the trick. Come round into the light a bit, you might be able to see it. This is how you get up onto the bed, by that step. If I can come out of it, you can see you step on there and into the bed. But this is where you go under the bed to where the dog cages are going to be. It's a bit dark in here, so I've got to go and open the boot for you to see. But we're having another door put on here, a wire door. So when it's open like this, the dogs can see us, but they can't come out. And that's Freya's dog bed in there from last time. So this is from the back end. So I've got to get all this out ready for us to take it. And if you can see straight through. So the dogs will be in here. There will be a cage door there. There will be another caged side coming this way to make 2 compartments. This is going to be the bigger one, the main one. This side will be used for putting luggage in away from the dogs, or to put Rex in when we're travelling, so he's away from the others, because he gets a bit fraught sometimes. So there's going to be 2 cages, but this cage will hold 3. So if I show you on the roof, you should be able to see the solar panel and the television aerial. So in the back, my husband's fitted me up a light. There we are. It won't make it quite so dark in here. And if I climb in, ooh, and find my keys. I can find my keys. This is very awkward. Try that way, that's a bit better. So this key goes in here somehow and opens. So this is the controller for all the electrics, and there's another side just there as well. So this is why that's where the battery is. Don't know why we've got a extra shelf in there. There might have been something else in there at one time. This van's been changed a bit, so people have to get in underneath here. So I don't know if I can shut that back up. It's important that the cages come out in case any repairs have to be done. So they just go, oh, is that? No. Trying to do everything one-handed. And I think there's a little compartment there as well. Don't ask me what that's for. Now this is something else we found. There's a safe in the back as well. It's quite good. Now I've lost the key to shut it up again. I think this is a water heater, and yes, it's all water pipes and stuff. I should imagine that they've been left on. I think all he said I'd got to do was get into this bottom one. So this is what I'm looking for in here. So he did say I just got to, I've got to pull it back that way. This, that's open, and that is shut, I think. So now when I fill it with water, the water tanks, I think that must be the hot water tank, will fill up. I think that must be another water tank. That must be a cold water tank, and that must be a hot water tank. and there is a massive tank underneath. So I've got myself a step, these plastic steps from Aldi for putting the awning up. Got myself a water pipe, proper one for filling the water tank up. Job is to turn this to switch it off so the water don't run out when I fill the tank. Well, they told me it was open. They'd left it open, but it's dripping water now I've turned it. So I reckon they'd left it shut. Hope there's enough light for you to see this. Probably not. But this is the water tank. So it's quite a big water tank. So that's what I'm going to fill in a minute. Well, this is day 2 of sorting this camper van out. It all went wrong yesterday. Well, it didn't go wrong yesterday. It all came to a stop yesterday because I had to go up to my mother's. So we're back again, and I can't find how big this water tank is. It's not took that long to fill, and then I've got water all pouring from underneath. So, because I went inside to make a cup of tea and look through all the stuff that we've got with the camper to find how big it is. I was expecting it to take longer to fill than that, and it was overflowing. So not only was it overflowing out the bit where you put the water, the hose pipe in, it was all overflowing from underneath. So whether there is a valve at the top to stop it, you filling it too full, or what, I don't know. But I'm going to go and have a look and see if it's still dripping out. Well, it was pouring out a minute ago. I can't hear it now. It was really, really bad until I took the hose pipe out. So I'll have a look at the tank display thing up there and see what that says. So I'll switch the power on. So this is the water pump, I assume. Oh, that's making a noise. I'm switching it back off. I don't know whether that's got water in it or not. Tank test. So yes, it's full. Does it supposed to make that noise when you switch the pump on? Well, is it coming? I think we just got to wait for the air to get out. I've about got all the air out of it now. This was quite strange. I'm thinking, where's the plug? You just tip it up and it runs out the back. And now I suppose I better go outside and sort out the drain. I bet it's all going all over the drive. Oh well, never mind. And the shower, that works too. And if I turn it to, oh no, it's cold. Turn it to hot. Water coming through the hot system. So I should be able to switch the heating on, the water heater on now. Yeah, I better leave that drip in there. You can see this. I have a pipe just there, running water out. Now, I've got this funny feeling, you know, when I turned that, the man told me that that was left open. I've just got this funny feeling that the man has told me everything wrong. He told us everything wrong about the heating system. Well, I've never known something so stupid in all my life. The little yellow switch has got more than one way backwards and forwards and upright. But if you press it down that way or that way, right to the bottom, it stays open. You've got to just move it slightly across for it to stay closed. I've never known a switch it should be on or off, not two ons and off a balance in the middle. It's stupid. But then again, inexperience, somebody that's probably had camper vans and caravans with the water and stuff in them, because we just have a normal pump that you put in to the barrel, switch on, and it pumps it into the sink. That's what we've always had. Anyway, it's filling again because we've had goodness knows how many gallons of water down the drive. I don't know. Right, let's have a see how far it's filled. Oh look, yeah, it's filling up and we're not leaking. So I'm still not sure how much of this stuff I've got to put. Where did I put it? In the cupboard. How much I've got to put in. But I'm going to test everything first and have the heater running. I'm going to go and get the electric hookup from the caravan and run it round instead of using the one off the van. It's easier because it's already out and plugged into the caravan. I don't know. Next job. On to the next job. The water tank is now full. Look, on green. And the electric hookup's working. I've got nothing. Test the electric hookup other than the water heater when I get that sorted out. I've took the cover off the water heater. The man says you don't need to take it off if you're using electricity, but you do if you're using gas. But I'm taking it off anyway because I don't want it melting, just in case he is wrong. I don't believe a word he told me because everything he's told me is wrong. So we'll check the water again, make sure we've got all the air out of it before I dare switch the water heater on. And we're going to find, if I remember, it's behind the back of the telly, and there's one, you set it one way for gas and one way for electricity. So next palaver, you'd be having a right laugh, sat here having a right laugh at me, not you? So I don't know what I'm doing. That looks better. That's on the hot, that's on the cold, that's in the middle. Yeah, I think the air's out. Can hear it. I think there must still be a bit of air in because I can still hear the pump coming on and off as though there's air in it. But anyway, I'll leave it running a bit. Don't matter how much water we use it. I can fill it up again if I need to. I was thinking we was going to have to switch the pump off every time we'd finish using it because you could hear it running. But now I've got it going properly, the pump doesn't come on until you switch the tap on. But it still seems a bit, it might be because I've got this door open that it sounds a bit loud and a bit, so we'll see. I don't know. On to the next thing. Hey, why did he put this behind the back of the television? It probably seemed like a good idea at the time. Now, this is the gas one, and it's on off. This is the electric one, and it's on off. So, in theory, I just have to press this, don't I? Do I dare? I'll just run the water one more time in the shower to make sure there's no more air in it, and then we will risk it. I'm scared stiff to press a button. Aha! Right, pressing the button. If it always goes bang, you won't see any more video. Aha! The light's on, so the hookup must be working. And I think he said you've got no temperature control with the electric. It just heats up to one temperature, which is really, really hot, so be careful. With the gas, you've got all these different temperature to dial with temperature, little temperature on it, from 30 to 70. I think he said the electric just heats it up to 70. So we'll see how hot it gets. So while I wait for the water heater to heat up, I'm going to have a cup of tea and some Oreos. Well, these are Aldi Oreos, so whether they taste the same, I don't know. So tea and Oreos, and I'm going to search through all this lot up here that I put in, because I've lost my, and I've looked in here and couldn't find them earlier, but I'm sure they must be in here because I can't find them anywhere else. I've got a notepad with everything that I'd got booked for this year, and I know I've cancelled, well, things have been cancelled, and I've managed to get my money back for different campsites and stuff, but there's things that we may be able to go to, because yesterday I noticed it popped up on a news thing on my phone that Scotland are reopening to tourism from the 15th of July. So my holiday for Scotland is booked for the end of August, so I should be able to go. I'm debating whether to go with my friend or not, maybe go on my own, and then I will be totally isolating then, won't I? I'll have to ask my friend if she wants to come or not, if she still wants to come. It's a bit of a hard decision, isn't it, because she lives in Scunthorpe and she's a vet nurse, and you know, by August it's still not all completely gone, will it, this virus? So I think I still need to be isolating a bit. So yeah, so I'm looking for my notepad that's got all the telephone numbers in, all the addresses, all the directions, you name it, was in this notepad for the whole year's holidays, and I can't find it. And I put it away safe, but all the safe places that I normally put things, I've looked, can't find it. So I've determined to find it, and it might have to be in here. Right, the heating is now working perfectly fine. The water heater for the water is working perfectly fine. I dared to press that button that I was saying, dare I press this button? Is it going to all explode? And it works perfectly fine. The water's that hot, you can't put your hand under it. The shower is absolutely fantastic. When you get the shower going, I've washed all the floor out and everything with the shower, because we've been walking in and out with us walking boots when I've been out on some trips, and it was getting ready for a clean. So everything's sorted, and I bet you weren't off all laughing at me. But when you don't know what you're doing, you've never used these things before, and people where you buy it from tell you wrong, then never mind. So it's all checked out, all working. So the only thing left to do is put the sterilising stuff into the water tank. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to leave that till just before I go away. But everything's been flushed through. I can't remember the name of that stuff. I've put it away now in the cupboard. But it's just like Milton fluid that you use for baby bottles, but for caravans. And you can get it at any caravan place. So just that to do, and checked everything else out. Everything works. The only thing that we haven't checked out is the awning. So that will be a learning curve when I put it up. But my friend has decided not to come to Scotland with me. She don't think that it's safe enough. She wants to be away from everybody. Right, so you open the door. And you open that door, there we are. And in here at the minute is the awning. So I'll just take the awning out, so it just fits out through here, this door, so it's easy to store away when there's no dogs in there. So there we are. Nice bed for the dog. I'll go and get, let me shut this and go and get a dog so you can see. There we are, we've got a Rexy in here now, haven't we, Rexy? Rexy, what are you looking at? Aren't you looking at me? Rexy, Rexy, I'm here. Are you going to come in? How are they, Rexy? Good boy. Hey. He says, I've not been in here before, Mum. What's this? This is new. Is this new? Is it, my old boy? Is it new? Is it new, this? He says, I'm not sure about this place. Never been in here before. So, this door comes open and goes and lets you out into the people that are in this cage out, or they can get out at the front. But this is a dual purpose storage room for all my stuff. Oh, Rexy likes that, don't you, Rex? Eh? They're nice. The idea is I've got some stuff to put on these walls to stop them getting mucky, that we'll just pull off. So when they get in here all covered in mud, they're not actually caking the place in mud. Here is that the dogs, or dog, or whoever's in there, can sit in there, be happy. You can always have the back door open so they can see out, and we can cook and they're not under his feet. But when we want them to come in for a cuddle, or when they're dry, then I can open that door and let them through. Or when we're travelling, I can always shut the door, but they prefer it to be open. And this door is catching on the floor. I have to ask Mark to look at the hinges. It wasn't before it went to have these cages fitted, so I think he's probably leaned on the door and pulled the hinges a bit and get Mark to tighten them up, because that was definitely not catching on the floor in that corner when I took it to be done. So something else I've got to sort out, otherwise we're going to have a scratch on the flooring. And this is the other thing that we've got, so we'll get it unwrapped and get Mark to fit it and see what it looks like on the back of the van. So it should fit onto that tow bar. Yeah, sorry.